This is an essay I wrote as a word to parents who have lost their children to Bullycide. Also a word to the bullies, not in condemnation though. Some parents of Bullycide victims may be asking themselves why their child is dead, while those who drove them to their graves are still living. My child suffered and suffered and suffered. Imagine coming into his or her room and finding a corpse. Then I had to arrange a funeral and bury my own child, who was supposed to be there to bury me someday. I have to endure all this emotional pain, knowing that I would never see them again for as long as I live on this earth. All this loss and pain for me and my child. For what? So bullies could have some fun with them. And what price did they pay? A slap on the wrist for some of them, if that. Some of them might have had to pay in a lawsuit. They might say, hey, we didn't kill them, they did. What would be worse, to be straight out murdered, or continuously tortured into a death wish and be left to do the dirty work? Only by certain technicalities of which they take advantage, they can't be jailed or put to death. Why are their tormentors still walking this earth and living their lives when they are as guilty or more so than they would be to straight kill my offspring? What matters most and infinitely more is our eternal afterlife. As sure as the victims take the way into heaven, they will be paid back for every unfair loss or injustice they and their loved ones ever suffer in this world. This world will ultimately pass away. Their tormentors are not being rewarded by being left on this earth. They will get what's coming to them. Even should they go to the right afterlife, their victims will reign over them forever. Some ask why the good die young. The more decent someone is, the greater their sense of conscience. The greater that sense, the more likely one is to have taken the way to heaven. What reward is it to live in this world which will pass away, than to be rewarded for eternity? I don't even like God, nor am I any more a Christian. Yet, this is me saying that he will take care of this injustice. So fear not, loved ones of those bullied to death. Unlike the many shallow minds in this world, he understands the unfairness in the victims taking the blame. Whoever is to cast that weight on them and their loved ones, like cheaters, they ultimately will not prosper. Perhaps that is why good often die young, because they are much more likely ready to leave this passing world, while the corrupt and heartless are left behind. Not only will the victims ultimately triumph, so will their loved ones who are left to carry the burden. As to the bullies, however, I speak no condemnation, particularly to those who are of remorse for their actions. May they learn from their mistakes, however. May they understand that their victims are every bit as much human, regardless of any reason to attack them. To the bullies who are of no remorse, I'm just sorry that in the end, those whom you left with the burden of truth for your amusement will not be sharing the reward with you. That is, unless you are truly incapable of understanding. In the words of gospel rapper John Rubin, not knowing is an excuse for those who are willing to learn.